Good story today comes from Spain, where a couple on their honeymoon have saved no fewer than 10 children from a burning building. They were in a nursery, in a nursery in Spain. The couple is from Bristol, Rhode Island. They were in Spain, newlyweds, and apparently they had been waiting 2 years to go on their honeymoon because they got married right in the middle of COVID, so they've been married 2 years. But they get there, and they see smoke coming out of a roof and out of a door, and the wife says, that building's on fire. It turned out to be a nursery.
Honey, en fuego. Remember, we were going to use Spanish. Remember all those Babel classes we took?
Well, it turned out
el building en fuego.
Children inside. Nursery. Guy says instinct took over. He went in, saw 20 sleeping babies. All of them got out. He said he got at least 9 or 10 himself, he and the wife, and then the workers in the building got the others, and the building burned down by the end of it. He said, we were just lucky we were walking the cobblestone streets of Madrid.
Oh.
And look what we saw.
Big town.
It's them in their own words.
I saw a flame coming out of the doorway next to the door that these women had come out of. So I said, oh my God, there's a fire.
I found myself looking at 15, 20 babies sleeping. Immediately just kind of lined everybody up and we started grabbing them, putting them into the crib.
We were just literally taking cribs with a few kids in it and rolling it across the street to the high school lobby.
It turned out to be okay,
What's that?
No kidding. That's good.
I mean, I'm a hero on that continent as well. I stopped a robbery in Italy.
Yeah.
Wait a minute now. Let's not forget my woo. We all saw that. We all remember.
This is a milagro.
This was a milagro. Can't say anything different about it.
Can't stress it enough.
No, it's true. But I was the one. What I did was went behind somebody and went, woo.
A pickpocket?
Yes.
Or a purse thief?
A pickpocket. A woman had her purse down by the ground, and it looked like that the guy was going to go into it. He was swarthy, too. Very much so.
It's Italy. They all are.
Okay. Fair enough. That was a swarthy Italian standing behind.
Dark hair, dark complected.
Fact.
Olive skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unshaven.
That's Italy.
Got on his motorbike, ran off. That was it. She turned to me. Now, see, she didn't realize really why I was there.
She thought you were a loon.
She probably thought you were the ne'er-do-well.
Well, she sure looked at me that way. And I said, I was pointing at him going, no. But I didn't speak her language.
That's my brother.
They were taking a tour and had their phones in hand, taking video and stuff, and that's when she noticed the smoke, the lady. So that's pretty good.
Good they took action.
Yeah, they did. And the fire department told them in Spanish, this could have been bad. Malo. It's a malo. They absolutely said that. That's right. That's one of the good stories today, and a good one it was, for sure. Let's see what's next here. That's the honeymooning couple that made it good. A bad story today. A bench paying tribute to someone who died is causing a lot of confusion. Apparently, a Canadian town in Caledon had put a bench up that said, "This is dedicated to the memory of Kathy, who loved the forest. Your smile said it all." And then her date of birth and date of death. The date of birth is September 7th, 1954. The date of death, December 6th, 2022, which hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a
So Kathy says, hey, no, they misprinted.
What is someone not telling me?
It was December 2021 that she died. But now people who sit on the bench say, this is a haunted bench because you put it up here.
Nobody wants to sit in it.
For someone, and especially around the Halloween season. Yeah. Exactly.
I like those dedicated benches. I think they're pretty
I think
cool.
they're nice.
When you see them in a park or something, they've got the little plaque on them.
I like that too. Makes me think about what the person did and who they were and that kind of thing,
For how long?
2 seconds. But I do think it's
while you're putting on your pickleball shoes.
Long enough to read the little platelet.
Long enough to read the platelet.
Tie your shoe.
Put my eye black on.
Yeah. Put your mouthpiece in.
I play all the time at an early voting site here. And it's open for early voting. And yet I have yet to make myself walk in to vote. It's like, and I've walked by it probably 5 times. And I mean, right near the door. And everybody says, can we get you to come in and vote? Here's some literature. And I said, take a look at the eye black. Obviously,
I'm a professional.
I'm not here for that.
I'm here for business.
You got your blinders on. You can't. You focused.
Focused, I guess. That's right. Haven't even. But I'm so uneducated on the candidates. I'm ashamed to say I turn my attention away from political advertising.
It's a pretty big ballot, so.
Yes.
That's another thing.
If they print it in the newspaper, I'll.
You won't see it there either. Don't take the paper.
When they print it in the newspaper, I'll take a look and see what each one of them stands for before I go in there to make an educated vote.
Straight ticket.
I've been a straight ticket man in the past. I won't lie about it. That's what I've done. You tell me if this is a good or bad story. It's up for debate here. An 8-year-old is gunning to be the youngest person ever to climb El Capitan, which is where is that? Where is El Capitan, the mountain?
In Yellowstone?
Yes,
Oh, no.
that's right, in Yellowstone.
You think?
Yeah, you're right. And he and his father have been planning it and trying it, or going to try it for months. At 8, he would become the youngest ever to do it.
Is that the one that's just flat-faced rock?
I think it is.
I believe so.
Well, yes, and this is the dad and the 8-year-old talking about it, and they're saying we're going to spend, I think it's 3 or 4 days that it takes to get to the top, and then they camp, and you're hanging on by your fingertips and your gear. That's what the dad said. This is the dad and the boy.
We're doing a rope ascent. He is going to free a couple pitches and maybe try to lead one. It's a 4-man team, and so the first person goes up and sets the ropes, and then we're going to climb up after. Basically 4 days of hanging from your fingers or hanging from your anchors. There's very few ledges, and so we're going to have to bring up portaledges, which are like nylon cots that you hang on the side of the wall. It's just a big adventure, a big family adventure.
I'm most excited to climb with Daddy.
That's the 8-year-old. Sam Blake is his name. It's in Yosemite National Park. Is where it is. So he would be the youngest by far to ever reach the peak of El Capitan. But a lot of people are saying he's too young to be
Too
doing
risky.
it. Yeah, shouldn't be doing it. It's bad parenting.
Nylon cots
Yeah, you sleep off the side
that
of
you
it.
shove into the side of the wall.
You've seen
No,
that.
no, you just you
Attach
you
it.
attack
You've-
you tack it to the wall and then you just hang there.
Yeah, you've seen them.
Yeah, but don't they also aren't these the same people that look for little crevices to climb up the rock too, and use ropes?
Yes.
Well, if there's two different ways to climb. I mean, I don't know anything about it,
I
but
don't either.
there's the free solo. That's the people who just go up like Spider-Man. These guys are using ropes.
They are.
They're pulling themselves up.
But when it's
So
flat,
they won't fall.
When it's flat rock like that, and you're only 8, but the dad says we've been practicing for a long time, and they're 1 day into it out of the 4-day climb. So he's
So they spent last night on the base.
They're waking up this morning, probably not yet, maybe right around this time.
Probably don't sleep too well.
No.
It's kind of cold, isn't it?
A nylon cot? You think I could sleep in a nylon cot? They wouldn't hold me.
Where would you plug in your CPAP?
What a great question, Biggie. How could we
Summit El Cap.
If we're sleeping on the side of a mountain, we made a terrible choice. We're stuck or something.
You know, for ratings, you and I should, next year this time, try to become the heaviest 2 people to ever.
I'd say you're well on your way.
I mean, the boy can have his moment in the sun. Why don't we get there?
I'll tell you what, we'll make a Demm report.
But nobody will be here to listen to it.
2 morons with no climbing experience.
Me.
2 heavy morons tried to become the heaviest ever to summit El Capitan and failed miserably.
7,000 feet.
Yes.
70 degrees right now. That's what it says.
Do you
In the
think, is it good parenting, or is it bad parenting, or is it great and he's overcoming,
I think the whole thing's dangerous, so you're asking the wrong guy.
I do too. I wouldn't do it for my 8-year-old.
Is that where the movie Free Solo was, Biggie? Did you see
Yes.
that? That was
That's
El Cap.
a great movie, too.
It's unbelievable drama.
Would you do that for your, is it too much to ask of an 8-year-old? That's the big question.
I would think so, but I mean,
Is he going willingly, the kid?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he says he is,
Yeah.
He just says he wants to climb with Daddy.
Yeah. And I mean, they have practiced and done a lot of other mountain climbing as
Well,
well.
picture is cute kid.
I guess if you know your child, I wouldn't do it. I mean, I wouldn't.
Just
I
the
wouldn't.
danger.
Exactly.
8-year-olds are never.
It's too dangerous.
They're not good at anything.
Right.
They're not.
It's too dangerous. So I'm on the side of those saying, but
Come down.
I would say get down here right now.
Or you never know what you're going to encounter on the way up.
I agree. His little fingers trying to hang on like that. I don't know. Bad story. Astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson is taking on the new movie Top Gun Maverick and says Tom Cruise would have died 5 minutes into that movie. He's always sucking the fun.
Can you speak to it?
Yeah. Well, in the first scene of the movie, Tom Cruise goes Mach 10, and no one's ever done
10?
Mach 10
In an aeroplane.
That's correct, and no one's ever done it. And you can see the curvature of the Earth. And back in the control room, they're like, "He's the fastest man alive." And then Tom Cruise, being Tom Cruise, says, "Let's go a little faster." So he gets up to 10.1, 10.2, and 10.3. and then the whole plane blows up, and he parachutes out of it. And Neil deGrasse Tyson says, "Yeah, right. That could never happen."
He couldn't survive the
No.
Yeah, he says, "No way."
the plane breaking apart at that altitude.
That's what he
or
said.
I mean,
yes,
The plane wouldn't. Is it a regular F?
I don't know. It's a big plane. It's a big old plane, and
what's I don't remember my numbers.
he went hypersonic at Mach 10.3 before it crashed.
So that's 10.3 times the speed of sound.
Faster than the speed of sound.
deGrasse Tyson says that's 7,000 miles per hour, and there is no way that even
Any aircraft go that
He
speed?
said no way even Maverick could come out of that.
Rocket, I guess.
They go 7,000 miles an hour?
7,000 miles. Says it would. There is no situation where any human could ever survive something like that. So he says, enjoy Top Gun Maverick. It's a farce. That is not real. That is not going.
Was
to
he wearing oxygen? Did he have a mask?
Had to be.
He did. He did.
Okay.
And he's shaking though. I mean, he is shaking in that thing, sweating. Holy cow! But remember one thing:
Jesus Christ, that's Tom Cruise, people.
Tom Cruise can do what others
True,
can't
he's not
do.
like other people.
Exactly. A lot of people said, because what happens is, quick spoiler here, 5 minutes into the movie, they're going to ground the program, and Ed Harris is on the way to put Maverick's ass in a sling. He's like, "You're not going up."
Love Ed Harris.
I do too. And Maverick says, "Get me in the plane before Ed's limo arrives." And that's exactly what happens. He dives into that plane and they take off.
Does he shoot right over the limousine?
Yes, that's the famous scene.
That's the scene.
You've seen that scene.
I
yeah.
have seen the scene.
That's in the first 5 minutes of the movie. And they filmed that just one time. I mean, the top comes off of a building, the roof.
And Ed Harris just stands in the jet wash.
And looks up. That's right. That's a great Ed Harris moment. And you know what Ed must be thinking.
Jesus Christ, that's Tom Cruise, people.
Exactly what he's thinking. So Ed's caught in the wash, and Maverick goes 10.3, and then all of a sudden there's like darkness on all the computer screens, and it goes, and you see an explosion from the distance. And then Tom walks into a restaurant in England and says, "Where am I?" And the kid says, he does. He walks into a restaurant, and he says, "Where am I?" Because he has parachuted down to the ground. And the kid in the restaurant says, "Earth," because he looks like he's from. Yeah. So a lot of people have the theory that he died in that, and the whole movie is him in heaven. It's not even real. The rest of it. You know how you get that theory sometimes, and that is the theory there.
Like kind of like Sixth Sense.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't know he's dead.
They even said that about the last episode of Breaking Bad, that he died at the beginning of the episode, and the rest of it's just Ferris Bueller. They say Ferris Bueller is not real, and that his friend Cameron is living vicariously through a character he's made up from his sickbed.
He's got a fever.
All of those things. He's got a fever, and he thinks. All of those movies seem to have.
You would think that Neil deGrasse Tyson would also say that if your airplane blows up at 7,000 miles an hour, you're more likely to land in the middle of the Indian or Pacific.
I guess that's right. Tom lands in London.
To land in England.
Well, I say England because I think the boy had a British accent. I think Biggie could correct me on that. Did he have a British accent?
Can't remember now.
He said Earth. He said because Tom Cruise says, "Where am I?" He goes Earth. Yeah. So Neil deGrasse Tyson. I like him a lot because he sucks the joy out of everything, as do I.
Yeah, he's one of you.
Yeah, he's just a smarter killjoy.
That's right.
I mean, a much smarter killjoy.
Yes, he is. That's a fact. Got a lot of emails about this. Apparently, we had talked about this man once before. He's the ugly story. He's the world's dirtiest man. Confirmed. He is from Iran. This is clocked. His name, they called him Uncle Haji. His name is Amu Haji. He had not bathed, and everyone swears this is true, in over 60 years. He had not taken a bath. He's 94. He believed that soap and water would make him violently sick and that he would die. 3 months ago, he took a bath for the first time in 60 years. He became violently ill and he died.
Haji.
He died.
Come on, Uncle.
He just died. Now, I saw his picture, and he was the dirtiest looking. His hand, he was holding a cigarette in his hands. They were filthy black. I mean, just black.
Yeah.
If you really didn't bathe at all, he didn't bathe for 60 years. He lived to be 94, but he just died right after taking the bath. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine? I would think
What's the dirtiest part of you? Your fingers?
I think his fingers look like
your fingers and hands
look like a gorilla's fingers. You know how black they are? That's what it looked like.
And your hair would just get matted, right?
Yeah, get matted.
His face was disgusting looking. Did you see his picture?
I haven't seen his picture.
He really. I'm gonna show you his picture.
And your under things would all get.
Oh
filthy.
God! Can you imagine?
I mean, you must put off a stank for half a mile.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Feet.
Yeah, every bit. Yeah, all of those
Of
things.
course, you wear sandals all day.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't naked. I mean, he was clothed.
He was. Here he is. There, I'll show him to you, Dave.
I wanna see him.
And he just looks so like there's his hand holding a cigarette.
Oh yeah, I know him.
You know,
He's under the bridge down here. I pass him every
and
morning.
his hands are so wrinkly
Yeah,
and black.
ugh.
But he just passed, and they said, and he blamed the bath because he took a bath.
I will too.
About 3 months ago, and then he died at age 94. Is the ugly story today. The other ugly is a sheriff in Alabama says to be careful for Halloween because he was forced to eat drug-laced candy as a child. But a lot of people are saying that is really not true. This is the sheriff from a small town in Alabama.
Don't take any candy or anything from anybody. We're just going to let you ride the ride. And he just kept insisting that I take the candy. So he opened the candy for me and put it up to my mouth. You got drugs just like candy. You got cookies laced with anything. You got apples and fruits that people put razor blades in.
That's Andre Brunson, who is the sheriff of an Alabama town. And he said as a child, as his own experience as a child, so he was, trying to warn against things like razor blades and rainbow fentanyl in candy. To be clear, there were never any reported cases in the 1980s when he said he was a child of razor blades and apples or drug-laced candy or anything like that. Still, he says you need to x-ray your candy and send your kids to places.
Nobody x-rays candy.
I don't have an x-ray in my house.
You don't have one at the house.
Yeah.
Do doctors go to
you go to the ER and do see what
Take
they
a
say.
number.
It's going to be $70 copay.
Would you mind x-raying
I got
my
a sucking
candy?
chest wound ahead of you, sir. I'll x-ray your candy as soon as I can.
16 hours later,
Can I get
November
you
1st.
to please x-ray my
Can
candy?
you just x-ray this?
That's what, yeah. But he says, you heard him say, they forced me, and they forced that up to my lips. But that has never been proven that any of that would happen.
Didn't we hear, because we've heard about, I heard the razor blades in apples when I was a kid, and I'm
yes.
old.
Oh, yes.
That the only time it happened, wasn't it someone doing it to his own child?
Yeah, that's right. And he put it.
That's right.
And then everybody thought it was going to happen to their kids. This is one of those urban legends that never really happened.
And now razor blades are so expensive. Nobody would do it.
Who would? Why would you?
Why waste that?
One year for Halloween, I bought.
This is a Venus?
Yeah.
It's
a
hard,
safety
what
razor.
I'd put in there.
it's hard to find a real straight razor.
A razor.
It is.
They're always locked up.
Now, one year, I was alone in my apartment. I had not found a woman. And I bought.
You're not going to find them in there.
Well, I bought a bag of candy and some razor blades at the grocery store. It's the only two things I bought. And I left the
Some big razors?
Yeah. And I left the receipt in here by accident. And our afternoon man at the time, Pete Bunch, found it and went on air and said, we have an alert here. Somebody has bought razor blades and candy, so you know what's going to happen.
There's a sicko in the community.
That's right. Well, it's me.
Over at the Eckarts.
Yes, it was me.